Welcome back to State Quarter. You are not going to believe what I am about to show you, because somewhere in America right now, someone is spending a penny at a gas station that is worth $10,000, and they have absolutely no idea, and the scariest part is that coin might already be sitting in your pocket, in your car, in your couch cushions, in that old jar of change you have not touched in years. And by the time this video is over, you are going to know exactly what to look for, exactly what these coins are worth, and exactly how to find them before someone else does. Let's. Moving on, first up, the 2003 Lincoln Memorial Penny. You are holding one of the most talked about error coins in the entire Lincoln Memorial Penny series, and if you have never heard about the 2003 Double Die Reverse, you need to stop everything right now, because this tiny 1-cent coin could be sitting in your pocket change, your old coin jar, your grandmother's purse, or tucked inside a dusty coin album that nobody has opened in years. And the people who found this coin and knew what they were looking at walked away with values that would absolutely shock you. This is not a regular penny. This is not just another worn copper coin from 2003. This is a mint error that happened during the die production process at the United States Mint, and when a double die error occurs on the reverse of a coin, what you are seeing is a result of the hub being pressed into the working die more than once at slightly different angles or positions. And that misalignment creates a doubling effect that you can actually see with your own eyes on the lettering, the memorial building, and the design elements on the back of the coin. On this specific 2003 issue, collectors and error specialists have documented clear doubling on the reverse inscriptions, including 1 cent and United States of America. And when you tilt this coin under a loupe or a strong magnifying glass, and you see that ghosted second image of those letters, sitting right next to the primary strike, your heart is going to start racing, because you will immediately understand why this coin commands the kind of money it does in today's market. Now let's talk about real numbers, because that is what you came here for. In circulated condition, meaning a coin that has been used, passed through hands, maybe a little worn, but still showing the doubling, you are looking at values starting around $200 to $400, depending on how well the doubling shows through the wear. That alone is extraordinary for a 1-cent coin. But as you move into the uncirculated grades, the numbers climb in a way that is genuinely breathtaking. An MS-63 example in a PCGs or NGC holder is comfortably sitting in the range of $1,000 to $2,000. Push that grade up to MS-65 red, and you are entering territory where private collectors have paid $3,000 to $5,000 to secure an example for their registry sets. And at the very top of the population, the finest known examples of this error variety in MS-66 red or better have sold at heritage auction events and private treaty sales for figures approaching, and in some documented cases exceeding, $10,000, with the most aggressively pursued. Examples in auction rooms drawing competitive bidding wars between serious collectors who understand exactly how scarce a fully struck, fully read, perfectly preserved 2003 double die reverse penny truly is. The rarity factor here cannot be overstated. Not every 2003 Lincoln penny is a double die. You have to specifically identify this variety, and that identification process begins the moment you pick up the coin and look at the reverse. If you see clean, sharp, separated doubling on the lettering, if the memorial columns show any hint of that characteristic spread, if the design elements have that unmistakable doubled appearance, you need to get that coin into a flip immediately. Stop carrying it loose. Stop letting it rattle around with other coins, and take it to a professional grading service, because the difference between a raw, ungraded example and a PCGs or NGC certified example in a problem-free holder is the difference between a buyer offering you a few $100s and a buyer writing you a check that could pay several months of rent. The authentication side of this matters enormously, because there are altered coins and coins that have been artificially doubled through machine doubling or die deterioration that are not the same as a true hub double die, and the trained eyes at the professional grading services will tell you definitively whether what you have is the real deal, and when they put that variety designation on the label inside that hard plastic holder, the value of your coin increases dramatically, because every serious buyer in the market trusts those labels completely. Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and Great Collections have all handled examples of Lincoln Cent double die varieties from this era, and the realized prices in their archives tell a story of consistent strong demand, consistent bidding competition, and consistent value appreciation over time. This is not a speculative coin. This is a documented variety with a following of dedicated collectors who actively search for it, who set up saved searches on auction platforms, who call dealers specifically asking whether any examples have come in. And that active demand pool is precisely why the value holds, and in many cases, continues to rise as fewer and fewer pristine examples remain available for purchase. If you are a Lincoln Cent collector, a variety collector, an error coin enthusiast, or simply someone who stumbled onto a 2003 penny and thought something looked strange about the back of it, this is your coin. This is the one that changes the conversation from hobby to investment, from casual interest to serious money, and the story does not stop here, because the next coin we are looking at takes the Lincoln Memorial series in a completely different direction with grades and values that will absolutely blow your mind. Next up, the 2004 Lincoln Memorial Penny. When professional coin graders at PCGs and NGC assign an MS68 or MS69 grade to any coin, they are making a statement that fewer than a handful of people on the planet could look at that coin under magnification and find anything meaningful to criticize about its surface quality, its strike, its luster, or its eye appeal. And when that grade is placed on a 2004 Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin that billions of people handled as common pocket change in that year, the rarity of that grade becomes something almost incomprehensible to the average person who has never thought seriously about what high grade truly means in the context of mass-produced coinage. Think about what happens to a penny from the moment it leaves the mint. It goes into bags. It gets counted by machines. It gets rolled into paper wrappers. It travels to banks. It moves into cash registers. It passes through dozens of hands. It sits in parking meters and vending machines. And every single one of those interactions leaves microscopic marks called bag marks, or contact marks on the surface of the coin. The mint produces billions of these coins, and virtually none of them survive that entire journey from the mint bag to the hands of a collector without accumulating the kind of surface imperfections that prevent the top-tier graders from assigning the magical numbers of 68 or 69. That survival rate, that incredible statistical improbability of finding a 2004 Lincoln Cent that made it through the entire production and distribution process with virtually zero contact marks, with full original red mint luster blazing across both surfaces, with a strike so sharp and complete that every detail of the Lincoln portrait and every brick of the Lincoln Memorial is rendered with crisp precision, is exactly why these coins command the prices they do at the highest levels of the numismatic market. An MS67 red example certified by PCGs or NGC is already a coin that the average collector would be thrilled to own, and in that grade you are looking at values in the range of $300 to $500, which is already remarkable for a coin that was worth 1 cent when it was made. But the jump from MS67 to MS68 is not a small step. It is a dramatic leap in both rarity and value. An MS68 red 2004 Lincoln Cent in a PCGs or NGC holder carries a market value comfortably in the range of $800 to $1,500 at retail. And at auction, these coins have drawn competitive bidding that pushes realized prices well into the $2,000 range when the eye appeal is exceptional, and the luster is the kind of blazing full red that makes experienced collectors put their bidding paddles up without hesitation. And then there is the MS69. The MS69 Lincoln Cent is a coin that exists in population reports in numbers so small that finding one available for purchase at any given moment is genuinely difficult. PCGs and NGC combined have graded only a tiny fraction of submitted 2004 Lincoln Cents at the 69 level. And when one of those coins surfaces at a major auction house like Heritage or Stax Bowers, the realized price has reached into the $3,000 range and in some private sale. Transactions the values discussed have climbed even higher as registry set collectors who need that specific date in the highest possible grade are willing to pay a significant premium to secure the finest known example for their collection. The population data at the grading services tells you everything you need to know about why this matters. When you look up the census for 2004 Lincoln Cents graded MS-68 red or better, and you see how many coins have been submitted versus how many achieved that grade, the numbers make the rarity completely undeniable. Millions of these coins were made. Hundreds or perhaps thousands have been submitted to grading services by people who thought they might have a high-grade example. And the number that actually crossed the threshold into MS-68 territory is a fraction of the total mintage. Which means if you are holding a 2004 Lincoln Cent that came directly from a mint set or was carefully preserved from the moment it was struck and you have never let it touch another coin or a dirty finger or any surface that could leave a mark on it, you might be holding something considerably more valuable than you realize. The date 2004 also has the distinction of being a transitional year in collector interest for the Lincoln Memorial Series, positioned after the highly collected earlier dates and before the complete redesign of the reverse side that came in 2009 with the Lincoln Bicentennial coins making high. Great examples from this period especially appealing to type collectors and date set builders who want the finest possible representation of each year. If you have a 2004 penny that you have kept in a flip or a 2x2 holder since the day it was made, get it to a grading service. Get it certified. Because the difference between a raw coin and a slabbed MS-68 or MS-69 example is the difference between pocket change and a coin that belongs in a serious collection with a serious price tag attached to it. The next coin in this series is going to introduce you to a category that most people have never heard of, a special production variety that the United States Mint made specifically for collectors, and the values attached to the finest examples will genuinely surprise you. Next up, 2006 Lincoln Memorial Penny. Most people who received a United States Mint special mint set in 2006 looked at the coins inside, maybe appreciated how different they looked from regular circulation strikes, put the set on a shelf, and never thought about the individual coins having standalone value separate from the set itself. That was a significant mistake, because the 2006 Lincoln Cent, with its distinctive satin finish surface, is one of the most underappreciated and genuinely valuable modern Lincoln Cents in existence when it comes to pristine examples graded at the very top of the population by PCGs or NGC. And the collectors who recognized this early and secured the finest graded examples paid prices that looked aggressive at the time, but look extraordinarily reasonable in retrospect, given where top-tier values have traveled since. The satin finish coins produced for special mint sets in the mid-2000s occupy a unique position in the coin market because they are neither a regular business strike nor a traditional proof coin. They have a distinctive matte-like surface quality that shows the details of the design in a completely different way than a brilliant mirror-like proof or a lustrous business strike. And that unique surface characteristic creates a completely different grading standard and a completely different set of preservation concerns. The satin surface is extraordinarily sensitive to contact marks, fingerprints, environmental damage, and any kind of mishandling, which means that even coins that came directly from the original government packaging in apparently perfect condition often show imperfections under the magnification, used by professional graders that prevent them from reaching the coveted top-tier grades. A 2006 satin finish Lincoln Cent that grades SP68 or SP69 in the PCGs or NGC grading system is a genuinely scarce coin, and the population numbers at both services confirm exactly how scarce. The number of coins submitted versus the number achieving the highest grades tells a story of extreme rarity at the top of the scale, and it is that rarity combined with a dedicated collector base that has driven the values on the finest examples to levels that most people find astonishing when they first encounter them. In SP67 condition, you are looking at a coin worth several $100s to a collector who wants a nice representative example of this issue. In SP68, that value climbs into the range of several hundred to over $1,000 depending on eye appeal and the specific certification service. And in SP69, the finest certified examples of the 2006 satin finish Lincoln Cent have traded at values reaching into the several $1,000 range, with some reported private transactions in registry set quality examples hitting figures in the vicinity of $3,500, and higher when the competition for the finest known is between two determined collectors who each want to say they own the best. Heritage Auctions has handled satin finish Lincoln cent examples, and the bidding history on top-graded specimens shows consistent appreciation and consistent buyer enthusiasm that speaks directly to how seriously the modern coin collecting community takes these issues. The story of the Satin Finish series is also a story of limited production window, because the United States Mint only produced these special mint set coins for a specific period in the mid-2000s, which means the total number of potential high-grade survivors across the entire production run is permanently fixed and will never increase. Every year that passes without a new high-grade example being discovered or submitted means the available supply at the top of the population stays the same or shrinks as coins get damaged, lost, or simply never submitted, while the number of collectors who want the finest examples continues to grow as more people discover the series and begin building registry sets. That supply and demand dynamic is precisely why owning a certified high-grade 2006 satin finish Lincoln cent is not just a hobby pursuit, but a genuinely sound numismatic investment with a track record of holding and building value over time. If you have a 2006 special mint set that has never been opened and has been stored properly away from heat, humidity, and light, the individual coins inside, particularly the Lincoln cent, deserve serious consideration for professional grading because the potential value hiding inside that government packaging could be considerably more than the face value of the entire set. The next coin continues this journey through the Lincoln Memorial series and brings us to a year and a set of market conditions that produced some extraordinary high-grade values in a completely different way. Next up, the 2007 Lincoln Memorial Penny. The 2007 Lincoln Memorial Penny sits in a fascinating position in the numismatic timeline of this series because it is one of the final years of the long-running Lincoln Memorial reverse design that had been in continuous use since 1959, and that status as a late memorial reverse coin combined with the exceptional rarity of truly high grade surviving examples has created a collector market where the finest certified specimens command prices that turn heads and open wallets in a serious way. The Philadelphia and Denver mints together produced an enormous number of Lincoln cents in 2007, which might lead a casual observer to assume that finding a high-grade example would be relatively straightforward. But the reality of how coins are produced, distributed, and handled in the modern era means that the overwhelming majority of those billions of coins were subjected to exactly the kind of bagmark damage, contact abrasion, and handling wear that prevents them from ever achieving the grades where serious collector value resides. When you are talking about a 2007 Lincoln cent in MS67 red, you are already talking about a coin that perhaps one in several thousand submitted examples achieves at the professional grading services, and when you push the conversation into MS68 red territory, the rarity becomes exponential rather than incremental. The census data at PCGs and NGC for 2007 Lincoln cents in MS68 red and above represents a genuinely tiny population of survivors, and it is the combination of that tiny survivor population and the active demand from date set collectors, registry set builders, and quality-focused Lincoln cent specialists that drives the value on these coins to levels that consistently surprise people who encounter them for the first time. A 2007 Lincoln cent in MS67 red, properly certified in a PCGs or NGC holder, is a coin trading in the range of $200 to $500 in today's market, depending on the service and the specific eye appeal of the example. And that is already an extraordinary return on a 1 cent face. Value investment. But the MS68 red examples are where the conversation gets genuinely exciting, because certified examples at that grade level have traded at heritage auctions and through major dealer networks at prices ranging from $800 to $1,500, with particularly choice examples, demonstrating exceptional luster, perfect strike definition on the Lincoln portrait and the memorial building, and that blazing full red color that has never been touched by even the slightest environmental toning, commanding prices at the upper end of that range and in some cases beyond it. Private treaty sales, which are transactions conducted outside of public auction rooms directly between dealers and their best clients, have seen 2007 Lincoln cents in the finest certified grades change hands at prices that the buyers and sellers keep confidential. But the general guidance from dealers active in the high-grade modern Lincoln cent market suggests that the finest known examples have commanded prices in the range of $1,500 to well over $2,000 when the grade, the eye appeal, and the population rarity all align perfectly. For collectors who focus on assembling complete date sets of Lincoln Memorial cents in the highest possible grades, the 2007 date is a coin that requires patient searching, significant budget, and a willingness to compete with other serious collectors for the finest available examples. Auction archives at Heritage show bidding competition on top-grade 2007 Lincoln cents that reflects exactly this kind of motivated buyer pool, and the prices realized in those rooms speak louder than any price guide estimate. If you are building a registry set or simply want the finest possible example of each date in the Lincoln Memorial series, budget accordingly for this one, because the market has spoken clearly about what it is worth to own a truly exceptional 2007 Lincoln cent. The production of the Lincoln Memorial penny was drawing toward its historical close during these years, and the next coin on our list carries that weight of finality in a way that has made its high-grade examples among the most actively sought in the entire modern Lincoln cent series. Next up, the 2008 Lincoln Memorial penny. The 2008 Lincoln Memorial penny carries with it the weight of being among the final coins to bear the memorial reverse design that had been part of American daily life and American commerce for exactly 50 years. A design that generations of Americans grew up seeing every single day without ever truly looking at it, and when that design changed forever in 2009 with the introduction of the Lincoln Bicentennial reverse designs, collectors suddenly looked back at the final memorial reverse years with an appreciation and a hunger that drove values on high. Great examples to levels that nobody had anticipated. The 2008 Lincoln cent from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints represents the penultimate year of a design era, and that historical significance combined with the genuine scarcity of pristine high-grade examples has created a collector market that is both deep and enthusiastic in a way that supports strong values across the grade spectrum. In circulated conditions, the 2008 Lincoln cent is common, as you would expect from a coin produced in the hundreds of millions, but the story changes completely when you enter the world of professionally graded mint state examples, because the production and distribution process that these coins went through before reaching collector hands was exactly as destructive to their surfaces as it was for every other business strike Lincoln cent, meaning that the survival rate of truly pristine, uncirculated examples with full original red luster and minimal contact marks is a tiny fraction of the total mintage. A 2008 Philadelphia Lincoln cent in MS67 red, certified by PCGs or NGC, is a coin commanding respect and dollars in the serious collector market, with retail values in the range of $300 to $600 for particularly sharp examples with exceptional eye appeal. The Denver issue in the same grade carries comparable values with some slight variations depending on mintage figures and population data at the grading services. But when you step up to the MS68 red level, the conversation about money becomes substantially more interesting. Certified examples of 2008 Lincoln cents in MS68 red have appeared at Heritage auctions and Stack's Bowers with realized prices ranging from $1,000 to $2,500. And the bidding patterns on these coins reveal exactly how competitive the market is among date set collectors and registry set participants who need this specific issue in the finest possible certified grade. The population of MS68 red examples at both major grading services combined is small enough that each new appearance of a certified example at auction is a genuine event in the Lincoln cent collecting community. And serious buyers follow these auctions closely and bid accordingly. The final memorial design year status of 2008, combined with the fact that 2009 brought a completely different and historically significant reverse design for the Lincoln Bicentennial, means that 2008 occupies a permanent and unique position as the bookend of the memorial era. And numismatic history has repeatedly shown that coins marking the end of a major design series carry long-term value premium that only grows as time passes and the historical distance from that design era increases. Think about the collector who wants to represent each major chapter of Lincoln Cent history in their collection with the finest possible example. The wheat ear reverse years, the memorial reverse years, and the shield reverse years that came after, and you immediately understand why the final. Memorial reverse years, including 2008, are pursued with such intensity. Heritage auction archives going back through multiple sales cycles show consistent appreciation in realized prices for the finest certified examples of late memorial Lincoln cents, and the private collector community has reinforced those public auction results with private transaction prices that confirm the market is broad, deep, and willing to pay for quality. Error varieties within the 2008 issue also exist and carry their own separate value premium on top of the high-grade business strike values, with double dies and other documented varieties commanding prices that can reach well into the multiple $1,000 range for certified examples that combine variety attribution with high-grade preservation. The complete picture of the 2008 Lincoln Memorial Penny in its finest forms is a picture of a coin that has transitioned from common pocket change to genuine numismatic treasure in the span of less than 2 decades, and the collectors who recognized that transition early and secured certified high. Great examples have seen those acquisitions perform in a way that justifies every dollar they invested. If you are holding a 2008 Lincoln cent that has never been circulated, that came from mint packaging, that has been stored properly and carefully, do not let another day pass without getting it evaluated by a professional, because the potential value inside that small copper coin could genuinely change your perspective on what the word valuable means when applied to a 1-cent piece. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.